Well, the temperature's nice, but everything else is not. I think you can see why I was in such a hurry to get the fence line done and get that hole filled in up there, because it is a sloppy, wet mess over here right now. I came up here earlier with the side-by-side, and heck, it barely made it through some areas in four-wheel drive. So yeah, kind of limited on the work that's going to get accomplished today. Luckily, all the fence line is done in the front. I am going to, we got maybe 2-3 hours of no rain and sunlight left. I'm going to take the excavator back up there and work on one of the cabin lots, getting that cleared. It's right on top of the hill, so it should be fine. All this is just on hold until it dries out. It's just too wet to do anything, and the more you disturb it, the wetter it gets. So I don't know if you could hear it much in that last video, but I was explaining how I'm probably going to get Charlie to come in here once I finish the road. You can see it's just so flat. It's going to be a nasty wet mess all the time, I think, and get him to soil cement this, it's going to be expensive. But I think in the long run, through the woods right here, it's kind of a low area. It's going to be best just to get a good solid base put in here, and then I just put my stone on top of it, and it won't sit there and keep eating it throughout the years. But I'll have to come in here and strip all the organic stuff off, put a little more dirt in here to raise it up to the level I want, then let him treat it, grade it, pack it, and that should be good. I did ride over here this morning, and there was a decent amount of flow coming into the pond. So this is slowly filling on up. It can actually come up about 2 more feet before it pours over the dam down there. So we'll just see what happens with that. All this is actually running out of the woods from the farm and the house over there, and out of the front pond, which is right there. It just kind of runs down through there. I'll eventually clear this out and get a defined ditch through here and upgrade this pipe, because it's just a piece of single wall plastic pipe, and that is not adequate for a roadway. So I'll probably just put a 20-foot piece of that gray double wall in here, and that'll be good to go. So let me get on the excavator and go up there, and I'll show you cabin lot number 1. Well, the tracks don't squeak anymore. So since everything else is too wet, I went down that back line, and it was very wet this morning. I'm gonna get started on clearing back this tree line a little bit right here to kind of expose where the best cabin site's going to go. Debating if it needs to, originally I wanted it right here beside, I want to leave these great big white oak trees. Originally cabin number 1 was going to go right here to the left of these big trees. That's probably what I'm going to start on first. I may rip out some of those little sweet gums there, but I might end up moving it and taking down that one bigger one right there. That way it would give it more shade throughout the summer, because it's going to get pretty open back here in the back, because I am taking down majority of the trees down here in the bottom, and I am building a pond back here. So there's going to be 2 cabins, one right here or over there, and then the big one right back over there on that ridge. And I actually came down here and flagged it yesterday, just kind of see where the pond is going to lay in here at. And I'm trying to save majority of these bigger white oak trees, because a white oak is, I think they're the prettiest tree, hardwood tree out there. So that might be a little too close. I may end up sliding it down, but that is the water's edge of the pond right there. It will flood the valley right here, or the little, I wouldn't really call it a valley, but it's going to go way up there past the pigs up on that hillside. So unfortunately, my fence that's only been here 2 years has got to come out, but such is life, I guess. I'll just take it and have it reran up there. So pretty much from here all the way across, all this is coming out, and this is going to be a nice pond between the two farms. And these, I think these trees need to come down because they're not looking very healthy. And that's the last thing I want to do, is build a nice log cabin right there and one of these blow over onto it. So there's really not going to be a whole lot of trees left. Like I said, that's where the cabin's going to go, right there or over there. I haven't quite figured it out, but the sunset's right there, so I know it's going to have a lot of sun coming back in. So I may end up moving it a little farther up so that there are more trees left. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to kind of see how it goes, because all this is coming down. If it goes right here, and then I have trees like this one right here, and I definitely don't want that one, because that's, once everything's gone, that's just gonna fall over first wind we get. But I wanted to save these oak trees right here, so the pond's gonna come right there and then kind of come up in here and save those big maples right there, and then it'll just kind of hook back around. So I don't know if it goes right there. I don't know if it's going to be too far away from the pond or what, but I'm going to come in here first and go ahead and clear this area right here out and rake all this dirt down and figure out what is in there as to why all that has been pushed up right here. I assume it's just where they cleared the field out, but for all I know, there's trash all in there. So I'll find that out here shortly. Take down the first trees on this side of the farm. Branches. So what I'll probably do is just pile all this brush up and burn it down there in the bottom when I clear for the pond. Not have to haul the brush back up there to my other big burn pile for right now is my plan. It's weird how, I mean, once you clear it, like this right here has not been disturbed, and it's, you know, it's wet, but it's still relatively dry considering. But it's not muddy. December, and half the trees still got leaves on them. Well, yeah, half the trees still have leaves on them. It's crazy. It's literally like 65, almost 70 degrees outside right now. So I'm trying to be cautious around those oak trees and not dig up a lot of the roots. So that's kind of why I'm just trying to pull the trees out, and whatever comes up, comes up. I know the roots kind of, you know, one tree will kind of separate the roots from another tree. So if you kind of pull it up, it won't hurt as many. But if you start having to dig beside them, that's when you'll really start killing that. And I really do not want to disturb those two big oak trees right there. Alright, well, I'm going to clean up a little bit more of these and then dive into what's in those piles of dirt. I mean, I assume it's just stuff they pushed off this farm. Hopefully it's not all rock. Well, if it is, I'll just spread it out into holes. When I do that pond, because right up the hill is a huge quartz vein. I swear there's a couple rocks in there the size of this bucket. I'm hoping I don't hit a lot, but I'm hoping I hit a lot because I would like to dig up a lot of those boulders, because anybody that knows quartz, they're a nice white rock. And I think they could do some very nice landscaping with them. So it'll be interesting to see what I hit down there. end up just raking this up and piling it up, because I can't really have fill over top of a building area. I'm gonna kind of make sure a lot of it's dumped around that tree right there. Might just kind of have to smear it around there and leave it. I don't want to dig into the root system of that tree any. Break up well. I don't have a chainsaw because I walked over here. Well, let me get that broke up and do a little more clearing. Couple more little scrub trees and this one to take down. And I've just kind of, honestly, I thought I was going to have to move a lot of that dirt, but I've just kind of been spreading it out down the hill when I take trees down, and it's kind of worked out really nice. They'll just kind of dig through this topsoil. It'll just kind of, it's only spreading it out about 6 inches deep, so it really shouldn't affect too much, I don't think. Set myself with a little sapling. try to leave those hollows right there, mainly because they're evergreen, and the back of the cow pasture is over there, so it's enough to kind of screen that out a little bit, but also not enough where you can't see the pond. All those trees are coming out, so I don't know. I'm gonna leave them, and if they don't look right, that's something I could knock down in like 20 minutes with the mini excavator. So it's hard to put them back up. As this is all dirt that's been dumped over these tree roots probably 20 years ago, so I'm gonna try to flatten it out a little bit, call it good. Right in there and pat it down. Knock this down and drag it in, and that should be it for today. So I got that little area cleared right here. I still think those two right there are probably going to have to come out, and I don't know how far the cabin's going to be able to sit back. If it sits back too far, it's going to have a pump system, but I don't know exactly where the septic's going to go because it's uphill everywhere. The field does look nice though, doesn't it? This is farther down the hill, so I don't know, can't run it behind it because you have to stay, I called a friend of mine that does septic, you have to stay 50 feet off of a pond. Well, the back of the cabin comes to somewhere right here. It's only about 40 feet down there to the where the edge of the pond's gonna go. So I don't know, I have to figure it out, but this is where I want it to go, right under those big oak trees. Let me stand up here. Looks really dark on the screen. Sun's going down, but I think I was able to be gentle around that tree right there. I don't see any roots that I disturbed, so all I did was take all that dirt and just kind of sweep it away from it. But there's some real nice white oaks. Definitely wanted to keep those. But maybe if I put the cabin up a little bit farther, I might be able to put the line. It does fall down this way. Might be able to clear out some of those trees and run the septic right there. I don't know. Have to figure it out, but got to start somewhere, right?